What's up, everybody? Welcome back. This is another Beyond Click and Cliff. This is a podcast where you can do listen to while you're in the background doing your yard work, doing your cleaning of the house, doing whatever you're doing. You can have me on in the background. Maybe I can give you a good sign or a good laugh, a good cry, a good. This guy does not know what he's talking about. But it's something that I enjoy doing. I tell stories of growing up, life stories, what's on my mind. Sometimes I just ramble on, but everything's meaningful. Everything is heart to heart, kind of deal. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy doing this little podcast. Yes, I know I don't do it an hour long like some podcasts. I don't do it. Sometimes I try to keep it within the realm of what we're doing. I tell a story and that's it. It could be, you know, short and sweet, long and drawn out. Who knows? But I'm telling you, I, I haven't told this story. I have before on this channel. I've told the story how I got into my hobby, and I'll reiterate this on this today. A lot of you already know what happened to me, how I got into the hobby that I'm in, and I also just want to talk about general hobbies. Maybe you know, everybody knows my number one hobby is Lego. I build Lego. I do Lego content. I do everything I do on social media has to do with Lego at some points. But do y'all have other hobbies? I mean, if you do, I'd like to see them in the comments down below. Maybe Lego ain't your only love. Maybe there's another hobby. You collect Hot Wheel cars. You collect baseball cards. You art and craft, draw. I want to know what your other hobbies are. That'd be interesting to know. My number one is Lego. My second hobby is fishing. I love fishing. Loved it since I was a kid till now. But as y'all know, I am disabled. Um, and I try not to let that get in my way of whatever I'm doing. I'm a lot better now than what I was before. I was on the fire department for 20 years. I'm a big boy now. I was never this big until now. And I blame a lot of things on it. That I like food. And I always liked food. Don't get me wrong. I always liked food. But I think in 2019, I started having issues with my stomach. Like every time I ate, it real painful, and of course, me not like going to the doctor, I just classified it as just a tummy ache. Now, when I was growing up, let me take you back a little bit. When I was younger, I had stomach problems all my life. I had a spastic colon. My colon just spazzed and hurt for a little bit, and I think I had Crohn's disease, and before they came out, Crohn's disease, but I think that's a lot of it. But anyway, later on in years, of course, I never did watch what I eat. I wasn't a fitness or health nut. I never did. Only time I watched food was when I watched it going in my mouth, and and when I was on the fire department, I was active. I kept my weight the same. I could keep up with everybody else. I'd done it for 20 years. I made it up to a lieutenant in the fire service before something bad happened. Like I was saying before, I was having stomach pains, just hurting, double over in pain, I mean, I was out when it was hurting. I was in my chair crying like a baby. It hurt that bad. Never go to the doctor, just calling it gas or gas pains or, growing up, spastic colon. That's what I had. And I think that's what's bothering me. Then one day, it hurt so bad, I decided to go to the hospital. I spent a week in the hospital, and they called it diverticulitis. I couldn't eat seeds. I couldn't eat anything hard to digest. Seeds, corn, basically any kind of vegetable out there. It was rough on me. So I had to change my diet, which really stunk. And popcorn, couldn't have popcorn, nuts, anything with seeds, nuts, or stuff like I said, stuff that was hard to digest. That's corn, but basically all your vegetables, believe it or not, are hard to digest. I learned that fact. Anything with fiber in it, like pineapple, could not have. Tomatoes, could not have because of the seeds. When I went out to eat at McDonald's, I could not have a sesame seed bun because of the seeds. So I had to watch my diet, and it sucked. And I'll tell you what, I did that for, I'd say, pretty close to 6 months, a year. And I slipped up. Maybe it's healed. So I started eating a little bit of corn. Didn't bother me that much. All right, maybe I'm healed. I can do this. Anybody knows what diverticulitis is? It's like in your intestines. There's pockets that form, and a seed, could get in that little pocket, and then of course it just get infected and stuff. And I didn't know this. I didn't know that part of it. I did some research, and doctors finally told me, how it all works and stuff. But anyway, we went and started hurting again, worse than what it did before. So I went back to the doctor, spent another week in the hospital, came home, and never did quit hurting. And I went back, and then finally, they found that my colon exploded. Basically, and after this, it started happening fast. So they thought they could do it. Had the surgery set up, and then your body creates a lot of trauma, and my body threw a blood clot. I had a pulmonary embolism. I mean, the doctors told me I was walking the line of dying or living. It's 50-50. So I got airflown from that hospital to a bigger hospital, and had to get that taken care of, which, I'm here, so I survived that, but now I have to have blood thinners the rest of my life. Because you get blood clot once, you'll get them again. That's what the doctors tell me. And then, so since then I couldn't have my surgery because they said I had diverticulitis, and what they were going to do, they would go microscopically and take out the bad part and reattach my intestines. In 30 days, I'd be walking out of the hospital in recovery. So I go, all right, I'll take some time off work, do that, go back to work. But then the blood clot happened, so that pushed that surgery 6 months because they won't do. When I had that, they would not do surgery on me until 6 months when I got the blood clot thing under control and making sure I was good. So I had to deal with the pain. I had to take FMLA from work because I wasn't going to be back at work because I started getting infections in there, and I had to have tubes hanging out of my belly. I had 2 fistulas emerged on my belly where your body does amazing things. I mean, my body was trying to get rid of the infection, so what do? They make holes in your belly. It was a horrible thing. I had to wear bags and pack it every day. I had to have a nurse come over to the house and pack it and change bandages every day for 6 months till I was able to get the surgery. Finally, the surgery date came, and uh, they tried to do it microscopically. They went in there, took out the bad part, attached my intestines from the bad part they cut out, and then I got a recovery. Came in my room, and the next day I got up to do physical therapy, and I felt something just fall in my gut. Just, I don't know, it was like you could feel it. It just went vroom. And I told the physical therapist, I go, man, something's wrong. That did not feel right. And of course, they're not doctors. Well, come on, we gotta walk, blah blah. I mean, they force you to walk. I was mad. I was hurting. I said, I don't feel like it. They made me get up, and I poor physical therapist man. I was mad. I told her I was just mad. They said, well, I walked down the aisle, and they said, no, you can go back there. No, you made me get up and walk. We're gonna walk some more. I mean, that was the kind of attitude I had about it. It was a horrible attitude. But a couple days went by, I was just sleeping. I was sick. Well, what happened was the stitch in my intestines did not stay together. That's what I felt drop. I got septic. So they had to rush me into an emergency surgery and fix that and get all that out of my belly because your waste was going in there. So I got septic. Then I caught pneumonia. So I was on life support for, my wife said, six weeks. Yeah, I woke up. I had I don't know if you can still see it, but there's a incision there where they had a tracheotomy done. As I was breathing. It was horrible. It was a horrible situation. Finally, I left the hospital, went to a continued care place where you're still in the hospital setting, but not in the hospital. But they had doctors and nurses readily. I had to stay there for a few months. I think 2 months there. Finally, they sent me to a nursing home because I had to learn how to walk again. I mean, it's true that you don't use it, you lose it. And it does. I mean, I was on my back at this time for now, about 6 months on my back. So I couldn't move. So I had to learn to walk again. And finally got able, where I was walking, able to move. But my stomach is still not up. So I told you this story because now I'm getting to the hobby part where we open up this podcast about. The podcast, I got bored one day. All I was doing was watching TV and eating. That's all my life consists of. In a chair, I only could go over a few places. I couldn't go. I mean, I could walk, but I couldn't. My stomach wasn't up. I was getting tired by the time walking from my bedroom to the kitchen. So I was stationary. So I would watch TV and eat. That's all I had to do. I mean, that was, and I got depressed because I stopped working and I was sitting there I feel like I wasn't doing nothing. I told the wife, I said, I gotta find a hobby. And I was watching Survivor and they had all those beads on there. I want to make some necklaces. I think that'd be cool. Maybe make some and sell some. I don't know. So I bought a bunch of beads and I was making bracelets and necklaces, shark tooth. I still have a few that wasn't doing it. I did not want to do that. No. So I sold all that stuff and then I went back to just watching TV, playing the game. I'd play PlayStation. Well then, I was watching Lego Masters one night and I told my wife, I go, I used to do that when I was a kid. And I just, that's all I said. Watched it, enjoyed the show. We went to Hobby Lobby a couple days later and I thought about doing model cars. Thinking, I'll do model cars. That'd be kind of fun. Well, look at the pricing. That was not going to do it. I mean, then next day, my wife remembered about the Lego Masters. She brought home a $10 mech from the dollar store, and I built it, and it went on from there. Yes, I know. Look, I said pricing on the model cars, and look at Lego. It got expensive, but I can't stop. It's a drug. But I got into Lego and doing this YouTube and social media stuff. I'm not ever being a big time YouTuber or anything. I do this just because it gives me something to do and I feel like I accomplished something. I'm not sitting around and being depressed. Matter of fact, Lego got me off my depression medicine. I'm not depressed anymore. I wasn't never thought about the bad thing. I was just depressed. I was just sad because I wasn't doing nothing. I had no meaning in life. I wasn't a productive person. I think that's what bothered me the most and got me in that state. But Lego got me out of it, so I do thank Lego for that. I do YouTube, build Lego. Makes me feel like I accomplished something. I build a set. I feel like I've done something. I'm not just sitting here doing nothing. But that's my story, and that's my hobby. I love fishing. I love going out fishing, sitting there watching nature pass me by, and I'm just sitting there. A lot of times, maybe my line not in the water. Sometimes it is, but just sit there and look at nature and enjoy. That's what I've been doing. And those are my two main hobbies. Well, guys, I think this is going to be it for today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you do, please hit that like button down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you have another hobby. And hey, be good to one another. Pay it forward. Be nice. Be somebody's light and somebody's darkest cloud. Pay it forward. Do unto others what you want done yourself. Be good. Compliment somebody. Just do something nice for somebody. Alright, guys. Until the next time.